All right, we are back for another video here. Dan and Deanna at you. And yeah, I just finished watching a really amazing class. Of course, every class is amazing. Are twin flames real? And that is a whole nother topic that I might save for another video. But for this video, we want to focus on twin flame partnerships. Um, we're kind of at the place where, we've been on the twin flame path for many, many years. And it's really about understanding what does it mean to partner with your twin flame, because we all know what that desire is. Like, we all have that desire to have that person in our life. That's one of the most common most common movie theme. Even an action thriller has to have the lovers in it. It's one of the most primal um, human desires. And yet what it truly means to partner with your twin flame, it's a transcendental partnership, actually. So, and I continue to learn in this space. It's something that um, is been transformative. And actually, I can say I've made what I feel a leap in my consciousness since this last fall, um, in understanding that. A big thing that we've been healing in our partnership, I believe, is
Can I say things?
Of course, yeah. Jump on in.
So, the topic of partnership is really coming up strong for me. It's very important to be able to partner with people in all areas of life, like romantic partnerships, um, coworkers, like just anybody. Like, it's important to partner. And what it means to truly partner is like, it's a very intimate thing. Like, Dan and I have been together for almost 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't start off, actually, well, that's not true. We did start off partnering really well, but we've gotten better at it, I think. It's kind of natural. Like, somehow, like, everything just always gets done in our reality, and we're always there for each other in the ways that like matter the most, like they're the most meaningful. um like, there's been instances where um there's been instances where like um so I just like it's just like I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, it's really fun to partner with your partner, and that's why they're called a partner.
It's
like
one of the four things in a twin flame union, yeah, is partnership. Yeah.
like um the word is literally partner. And so, like, partnering, I know it sounds like, why do I even have to say this? But I I don't know if everyone knows how to partner. Dan and I have an excellent partnership that, like, I feel like a lot of people could learn from. We've worked together not only on our own online business many years ago, but we also worked how many jobs together?
Many jobs. Yeah.
So many jobs. It's crazy. Um, like, we've worked in restaurants together. We've worked, like I said, running our own business together. We have worked um, in hospitals and assisted living facilities together. We've worked in sales jobs together. We've worked. I feel like there's something I'm missing.
And that's okay. Teaching, schools. I said that
Oh
already.
yeah. Oh my
Restaurants, yeah.
gosh. We've worked in schools together. We've literally, like, been partnered, not just in work, but in home life as well, very intimately for very many years. And so we feel like we have a lot to share um, in regard to partnership. Um, Partnership is essential, especially with your romantic partner. God literally designed a man and a woman to intimately partner with one another in like really harmonious and magical ways. And oh, just got a ding on my phone. It's 11:11.
Ah.
Oh my gosh.
And by man and a woman specifically, a man and a woman in a twin flame union is that most powerful partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, I think I just speak in a more general way just because I don't know, that's just what feels better to me. So like maybe we could do like what is the best way that I partner with you and what is the best way that you partner with me. I'll go first.
Okay.
The best way that you partner with me is support. Like you're a very supportive person, and I'm like um I am like not like a high maintenance person, but well, I would call it that. I would call it a high maintenance person. Um and Dan is like just kind of naturally knows what's needed and when, but he doesn't like give at his own expense. Like we're very careful about that, if that makes sense. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or like when Dan was at work the other day, I cleaned our whole apartment. Like it just I don't know if I'm speaking very well, but basically like there's been so many times where Dan has been like maybe in a situation, just for example, I won't give like too specific, but there's been times when Dan's been in a situation that like he needed to get out of or grow out of, and I would like come and like help him with that and encourage him and ensure that he moved to his next level. And then there's been times where I've like crashed like I did last fall, and Dan was there to catch me really nicely. And it was in a way that I wasn't actually expecting. But
Well, I feel like there's something key I want to bring up here, and it's kind of a foundational piece needs to be discussed.
Sure, yeah.
The foundation to partnership is God. This has been a huge lesson for me, because you can partner with someone's ego, you can partner with an agenda, you can partner on many different bases, but the only meaningful partnership is love, which is synonymous with God. And that is the only meaningful way to partner with anyone, but especially your twin flame, because you were created, you know, as one with God at your very beginning. And so my experience has definitely been, I think, the biggest growth edge for me has been really honestly immersing myself in the teaching, um, because that is my foundation. And I can only truly offer any value when I'm rooted in God and the truth. And that's helped to kind of like steer our ship properly. Like that's how I've been able, like I can only truly support Deanna and love Deanna with that foundation. That's my guiding light. And so it's really God who partners, and it's when I stay with that peace and with God that I know how to support Deanna, if that makes sense. Um, And I bring that up because, I think that that's my biggest learning from our early days. Like we partnered very well from the beginning, but I realized when I came together, I wasn't anchored and strong in the teaching. And I can see where that's essential because when you are, you can keep yourself from getting off track. And true partnership is keeping your um, boat headed towards God at all times, which is towards peace and towards love. And I can see that a big thing I've been healing is, partnership is not codependency. It's not, um,
No.
it's not, I think the other person knows better, deferring. Now, and that's where for me, without, I did that at the beginning with Deanna a lot because she had a stronger foundation in the teaching and I kind of leaned on that. But if you're going into this work, I recommend not doing that. Have as strong of a foundation as you can in the work of, you know, Twin Flame Ascension School as you possibly can, because it is a guiding light and you will be a perfect partner to your beloved when you have that foundation. Like there's so many times I could see, oh man, like, and I'm grateful now that I have that because I know how to respond properly. Like it's crucial that you respond, you bring God to every situation. Dan and I have talked about this from the beginning. Your twin flame can present ego or God at any moment, because we're people and we're evolving. And so you only want to be the loyal, or partner with God in any moment. So the teaching has
Mm-hmm.
helped teach me um, how I can be in a space of love with Deanna. And so that helps me to know, when do I need to discipline our union? When do I need to shut up and listen because God's flowing through Deanna? Um,
And vice
and
versa.
vice versa. It goes both ways.
Because the
It's
love that I've invested into Dan over the years comes back to me, in moments that I almost wouldn't expect, and in ways that I sometimes don't expect. Like, I actually still sometimes feel genuinely shocked when Dan is like there for me. I'm like, wow. But we've built trust and we've built like unimaginably deep trust with each other. Um, we've built unimaginably deep trust with each other, um, because of everything we've gone through together and how many places God had us partner together. And there's so much safety here
mhm.
and emotional security. And like, um, we just know that like we can both relax and be ourselves and that everything in our life is going to be taken care of by either one of us. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's where, and they talked about this in classes, partnering with your twin flame is not going to be maybe what you thought. It's not, and Jeff talks about this many times. It's not that, oh, 50-50. I make sure to, okay, Deanna, this is your 50 and this is my 50. Now let's go. Because so much of the journey is internal. It's really just trusting the God in you. Like Jeff said this, and it's been my experience lately. Like I am very much in charge of a lot of pieces of our life right now. It doesn't mean that we're not doing our parts. Jeff has said this many times in classes where he takes care of so much in their reality because Shalia takes care of so much internally, and they don't they part it's a perfect partnership he talks about. If you just look at it on the outside, it might not look like that, but the inner truth is, and I know that's always the case for me. Like my life is 1,000 times happier with Deanna in it. And if I'm
I don't
working
even believe you when you say that sometimes. Like,
it's
I
absolutely the
literally don't
truth.
even believe you when you say that sometimes. Like, and this is why, like, like Dan and I have been through a lot, but like that's
That's
why
the absolute
we're
truth.
that's why we're engaged again, because you can't make this up. Like, you can't make up love, and
Right.
you can't like just like it's core values. Like we like partnership, like partnering is like
Yeah, and when you're partnering in the work, it's extremely deep. Like, I mean, everything with like Deanna is rich and juicy and meaningful for me. And part of actually a really important thing that you partner with your twin flame is rooting out ego. And this is something I didn't fully understand when I first met Deanna, but it's crucial and essential because you love them so much and you know that you desire to be in perfect union in truth with your twin flame. Just that's how you were created. And to get there, you have to root out everything not in alignment with love. And it's very loving to do that. And so we partner in that with each other. We we help each other constantly become better, um, evolve our consciousness, and it's something that you can, you know, when you're in tune with God, you always know where the God is in a space.
we pretty much like oh like we never stop talking. Like I don't think you ever go to work once without like calling me in the middle of the day, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like and it's like it's one of those things where it's not like it doesn't feel like codependency at all. That's what you were saying before. It's love. It's love. Like we're like, oh, you're going to the grocery store. I want to come too. Oh, you're going here. I want to go too. Like, don't go without me. Like, and maybe people sometimes think that that's super codependent, but we're just best friends at the end of the day. Like, we're best friends. And like, it's actually like, I literally got rid of our cats recently. Just got rid of them. Dan did not punish me for that. That's another aspect of like one of the gems I want to like share about truly good partnership. We don't punish each other for things.
Mhm.
We just, our main focus is always just getting back together and having that because you're my foundation and I'm your foundation.
Well, because here's the thing. I mean, twin flames share a consciousness. They're one being, and so, and I've experienced. It's not that I've never attempted to like, oh, I guess all twin flames have done this. Like, I want to blame Deanna for this, but if I'm actually in touch with my inner being, it doesn't make any sense.
Our priority is partnership. And we were,
Well, I was going to finish saying that, yeah, it's about creating good feeling, and I can't like it's we're one essentially. So if I'm upset at you about anything, I can truly love myself and heal it for our union. Um, and that's different from disciplining you, which true discipline comes from peace. Yeah, I can discipline and guide from peace. But if I'm upset, I've learned that doesn't change ever the love I have for Deanna. It's just something I need. It's just a place that I need to love myself. And that's just to, yeah, your point of there's no need to punish Deanna. She's me and I love her
and
so much.
I don't punish Dan either because we prefer love.
Mm-hmm.
We prefer to just be happy and just live life together and make memories and like who wants to wait? Like that's why like Dan and I moved in together like a week after we first talked on the phone. We don't have any interest in like it just warms my heart that we like share that core value of like not waiting and not wanting. I mean, like even though you're eternal, um YOLO is still a good thing to live by. You need to remember that like every moment is so precious and um you don't want to wait. You want to, at least I want to do everything with my partner. I could never be single again, for instance, because now that I've grown accustomed to um now that I've grown accustomed to living in a partnership, I couldn't ever, like, I wouldn't ever want to be without that partnership anymore. Like, it's just, it's what God created. God
Mhm.
created partnership. You're not created to do this alone. You're not created to be all by yourself. And I could never go back to being single after knowing what true partnership feels like.
Because with twin flames, you're actually just with yourself your entirety. So it's peaceful, it's easy,
Well, and there's no, like, it's fun.
and it's definitely fun.
It
Yes.
makes everything more fun.
And that doesn't mean, I mean, sometimes it can be very passionate. Sometimes there can be intensity. And especially, I've noticed, especially for me, when we just got started, because your twin flame is better at anyone than helping you heal. So they can get you to those, really deep places. But one thing I've noticed as we've gone, and I mean, we're going on 4 years plus, like,
Which I've never had a relationship this long.
I think this is actually starting near my longest too.
I've only ever had my longest relationship before this was like 9 months. And then my longest relationship, um, I had like kind of an on and off one for a couple years, but it wasn't like this. I have never had a relationship like this. Um,
Yeah.
it's a gift. It was a gift from God. Like,
Hmm.
and just like in Twin Flames Finding Ultimate Lover, it says like the purpose of harmonious union is to live a God-centered life. I'm not saying we're in harmonious union. We fell out of it a long time ago. But
On the
what
path back.
what that means is that what it means is you prioritize your union first because that's the foundation. And the priority is God first, then yourself, then your twin flame, then your soul family, then everybody else.
Hmm.
Um,
And it's so worth it. I will say that, like, you have to, like, give yourself lots of grace. Um, you know, the safety, the love, the intimacy increases as you, especially as you, do the work and immerse yourself in embodying the work that they teach, which is just becoming more loving, more powerful. Um, because yeah, our partnership becomes, for me, easier and easier as time goes on, because I feel that safety at the core only grows. The more we've worked through really big things, we've had plenty of very big things we've worked through, which is natural for twin flames. So don't, if you find that you're having lots of very big,
we've actually worked through, I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, yes, everything is meant to strengthen you in your union. If you have, and there are times that's why you have to have, Twin Flame Ascension School. It's essential, because when things, no matter what, when things are great and when we have a lot of very challenging things happening, I can go to those classes and they will always return me to a state of peace. And it reminds me that my ultimate partnership in this union is with God. And every time I go back to that place of peace, I find our union has gone deeper in peace. And it reminds me that, you know, how much power you have in your union, because you can set that pace for your union to be peaceful and loving. You can choose that no matter what comes up. And because you and your twin flame choose as one, you can absolutely, just through your choice, guide the ship of your union towards perfect love, because you choose it no matter what. And believe me, there will be tests. So that's why I do say the ultimate partnership is with God, because your twin flame, just like you, is it a person. They're going to have God show up and they're going to have ego show up sometimes. And that's why the teaching is so powerful. It teaches you to be with God always, so that you can guide the ship of your union towards God no matter what happens.
say something?
Please, yeah.
Just that we were recently watching a class where we were just watching a class where they're talking about this very topic about how how you always help your twin flame, you always partner with your twin flame, you never leave them stranded, you never leave them to figure something out on their own unless it's maybe a spiritual or emotional lesson. um Obviously you respect their lessons and their choices, but at the same time, if they're suffering or struggle busing, you jump right in, you help them, you dig through the trenches together, hand in hand. That's the whole joy of the ascension path, is doing it with your partner. And so that's why I want to talk about partnership, because it's the most important thing. It's so important.
It really is.
It's so important. You have to partner. You can't get out of it unless you want to be alone forever. Which I don't.
No
one does, actually.
And the deeper we go, the more real it becomes that, whatever you go through, your challenge is my challenge and my challenge. There's nothing that you can go through that I'm separate from. And I will love you through everything, because your success is my success. Your happiness is my happiness. So yes, your investment in your twin flame is an eternal investment in yourself. It truly is. Our life is one, and so we grow together. That's the rule. Anything else you want to share?
Aww.
Aww.
Aww. Do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Well, are you crying?
No.
Okay. Just happy.
I'm just happy, yeah.
No, that just reminds me of something.
Just so you know, my thing cuts off at 30, so we have exactly 2 minutes.
I just feel like you always take the words out of my mouth or my brain. So, well, I think that was it. We probably have more to share, but this is very long.
Yeah, we do have a lot to share. So you'll be seeing more of us. It's a joy to share this beautiful path and this beautiful work, because it does change lives, and it changes anyone who applies this work experiences enormous, beautiful, loving changes. And so that's what we desire to share.
All right.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
I don't know what that was.